different scenarios that let your imagination run wild. Um, what I do truly believe is that night there is no way that they could have got out of that neighborhood without some sort of assistance from an adult. That's my belief.
Hey, my YouTube friends and family. Let's speak for a few minutes about missing Orrin and Orson West, birth name Cincere and Classic, reported missing from their California City, California home on December the 21st of 2020 by their adoptive parents, Trezell and Jacqueline West. And what I want to do is go over the interview with KGET that was done last night, and I was going to link it in the description below, but unfortunately it looks like they have deleted the interview with Police Chief Walker, and it was just asking him questions that many questions that were asked. So I want to go over that, and like I said, I can't link the video in the description because I do not see it, but I will keep an eye on their page, and if it does appear back, then I'll put it in the description. But Chief Walker says he has no reason to believe the boys aren't alive when he was asked if he feels the boys are still alive. He said there's 1,000 different scenarios of what could have happened. Chief Walker says what he truly believes is there's no way the boys could have left that neighborhood without assistance. He doesn't believe the boys wandered off into the desert. He said that he still suspects foul play. He was asked what constitutes foul play, and Walker said that he'll start with someone took them from the area and won't report where they are to the parents. So I thought that was pretty interesting statement that, he made as far as what would constitute foul play. And then he says, I'll start with someone took them from the area and will not report to the parents where the boys are at. He says that there's dozens of persons of interest. However, no specific suspects, and of course we all know no one's been charged. Chief Walker says human trafficking cannot be ruled out at this point. He says that he still cannot comment on if Trezell and Jacqueline took the polygraph test. So we do know from his previous interview that, or maybe the press conference, or when he spoke to one of the news stations, I can't remember which time, but we do know that he was asked if Trezell and Jacqueline were asked to take a polygraph. He said that they were, but he could not confirm if they did take the polygraph, and he's still sticking to that, saying he cannot confirm if Trezell and Jacqueline took the polygraph test. He says to the best of his knowledge that Orrin's fractured leg was accidental. So that was a question posed to him, and I don't know if you went back and looked at reports or whatnot, but he said that it did appear to be accidental. He says as of right now that there are dedicated resources not only in California City, but also Bakersfield Police Department. He says the FBI is still involved. Kern County Sheriff is still involved. Kern County District Attorney is involved. Chief Walker says that the dogs alerting inside the house but not outside means nothing. He says it's just a tool to aid the police in their investigation, kind of like the polygraph. It's not admissible in the court of law, but yet it's a useful tool that they use just to kind of aid them in the investigation. Chief Walker says that other than the adoptive parents, Trezell and Jacqueline, that the grandmother was the last to see the boys, and that he said he did not know when that was, but I know before he's mentioned that he would not disclose that information, but now he said in yesterday's interview with KGET that he did not know the date that the grandma last seen the boys. Chief Walker said he can't comment on when the boys' siblings seen them last. Trezell and Jacqueline are still cooperating, he says, but it has been several weeks since they've been formally interviewed. He says he does not know if they have obtained an attorney. Chief Walker says the Bio family is cooperating, that he spoke with them last, or with the biological mother last, the day after the boys were reported missing on December the 22nd.
Different scenarios that
Sorry guys, let me pause that. It went back. But that the Bio mom, he spoke to her again via conference call on December 22nd, a day after the boys were reported missing, and that's the last time. Police have not advised Trezell or Jacqueline not to speak to the media. Chief can't comment on if the neighbors' footage showed the boys. He says that the 911 call will not be released because the case is still under investigation. He says that, well, you guys remember when Jacqueline mentioned in the interview that her and Trezell done that she couldn't release photos because the police had her phone. Well, Chief Walker says, of course, the phones were given back. I've told you guys that in a previous video that I've done. But he says that, or he confirmed, there were photos of the boys on the phones that they had taken from Trezell and Jacqueline, but he does not know why they have not released any additional photos. So, that's a bit strange in my opinion. And also, he says that they both have purchased new cell phones, which again, in my opinion, that's a bit strange. But that's what Chief Walker said, that they both, Trezell and Jacqueline, now have new cell phones. He says that they still get a lot of leads daily. He says also that there's a lot of phone calls coming in that are just basically taking up their time, saying that they're not doing their job, and just unproductive calls that's just, not going anywhere. So he wants, of course, information, specific information. If anyone knows anything specific, definitely they're going to follow up on that. But some more questions, I wished he would have been asked if the boys are back, or not the boys, Orrin, Orson, Classic, Cincere, but the 4 other boys, if they're back with Jacqueline and Trezell, which I've not heard that they are. So I'm doubtful that they're back with them. But again, I wish someone would ask that to Chief Walker. And also, if that second white van located at Trezell's mom's house, if that's been searched, since we know that they previously drove that van, that other white van, and also has Trezell's mother's house in Bakersfield been searched. But those are 3 questions right off the top of my head that I have. But what would you guys ask? What's some things that you want to know that have not been answered? Let me know in the comments, just things that you wish you had the answers to. Thank you guys for watching.